What's going on, guys? Derek Smith here. Oh, I need a cool intro or something like that. Welcome to the Reddit podcast, Monday. It's Derek over here, 12/9/2019, Monday night. Getting the podcast in a little late for you guys, but still on a Monday, so I call it a win. Man, we had an eventful week in the sport, right? A lot of stuff to talk about. You got the IFA, WAF, top 8. Or no, not WAF. That was 2 weeks ago. Sorry. Top 8, Zloty. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. We will get into that, of course. Normally I like to... I first want to shout out, as always, to Nat Fit, Country Crush, and Lion Straps. Making supplements, making arm wrestling handles for your guys' convenience. Hit them up. Make a purchase. Tell them I sent you. Discount code... DREC10 on Country Crush for 10% off. Hit them up. Anyway. Okay, so, man, catch you guys up with me real quick. What's going on with me right now? I am currently trying to stay up to date on what Ingen Terzi, my online coach, has been kind of helping me out with. Slowly but surely, we're getting this figured out. And I'm whittling my arm wrestling down to once every other week. In the gym, I'm doing a lot more. It's a little simpler. So my lifts, my gym sessions have gone from basically doing, like a pushing day, which would have been like my chest, pushing with my shoulders, maybe tricep push downs, something like that. To now today is biceps and cupping. Oh, and I used to do every day. I would do every different angle for my forearms. So I would do pronation, supination, cupping, like reverse, cupping, opposite. I would do rising in my wrist, and I would do sinking in my wrist. So I would do those every day, but I would do generally one lift and do like 3-4 sets of them until I felt that they were sufficiently tired. But now I'm doing one forearm lift per gym session, but I'm doing like 5 or 6 lifts for that one forearm, or for that one, so say just cupping today, right? So I'll do like 6 lifts for just cupping. I'm going way heavier, so I'm doing about 2 sets. I do one warm up set real quick just to kind of get the motion dialed in, with no weight or really light, and then I jumped up to really heavy, and I go like somewhere between 6 to 8 reps, but I need to succeed on it, so I need to have like 1 rep left in the tank or so, and just really heavy. And so, but yeah, you do that with about 5 different lifts, and yeah, my arms are dead. And I do that with my biceps as well. The other day, so bicep and cupping, and it was just like doing it that way and taking a little bit of a rest, a minute and a half rest in between lifts and stuff like that. Feels good. It was a different kind of beaten up, because a lot of times I would do higher reps, so more reps, more sets, but I would leave with less lifts, right? Different lifts, and but I would leave more pumped than anything. But I wouldn't be like tore down. I wouldn't feel like tore down in my muscles. But I'm still leaving the gym with a good amount of energy, not completely depleted, but I can feel that I put in work. Like the work was settled deep, right? So it's kind of a good feeling. Something new to me. I'm trying to get it all dialed in still. The smaller motions and stuff, half reps and things like that, and but it's going good. And trust in Ingen Terzi. He's arguably the best ever, probably definitely the best lightweight ever. And so he knows more than I can ever assume to know about arm wrestling, right? So I'm letting him show me the way. But besides that, yeah, we had practice. We did I'll be releasing the video, or my teammate will be releasing the video pretty soon. We did a handle workshop, which was awesome. We did it on Sunday before practice, so 2 hours before practice. I went out and I bought all the raw materials to make arm wrestling handles. Well, like I said, I am sponsored by Country Crush, and Ray Cote is my people. But, just the cold hard facts is some people, can't buy handles right now, or, can't afford it or whatever. And so I have guys on my team, new guys are just getting the sport, and people always ask me questions, and I try to send them, of course, to go buy handles, but sometimes they just can't afford it. So there's some basic ways to hit some basic angles with handles you can build kind of at home. So I went and I spent all the money for the raw materials, which was not that much, ended up being like $100, and we were able to make 20 20-something handles out of that. Different types of handles, rolling handles, cupping handles, handles with straps around the back of your hand to keep you locked in on the PVC pipe and things like that. But yeah, I bought all the raw materials, and I told everybody to get to practice 2 hours early. We're having a handle making workshop. They all got there early, and then we built some handles. It was really awesome. It was awesome to it's kind of like our Santa's little elves, and we were all chipping away, making handles, sanding the handles, and grinding them and stuff, and cutting them. So it was kind of cool. It was cool to do that stuff with the team. And then we had a really cool practice. I just watched, but it was all great. Last thing about me, I know, 5 minutes, man. Usually don't talk this long about what's going on with me. I am going to practice with Devin Larratt tomorrow. Devin Larratt's in Las Vegas, and so we are going to jet out there. We're going to jet out there tomorrow and practice. So I am excited about that. I think his left arm is hurt, but it's okay because my left arm is hurt as well. But we're going to head to Vegas. There's a Vegas team out there. Me and 4 other guys from Southern California. ETN, Heraclio Ramirez, Oleg Mosai, and Kyle Depew. We're all going to get in Heraclio's truck, and we're going to drive out there and practice with Devin. I'll try to get some footage for sure. Maybe I'll get him to sit down and do a little 15, 20-minute interview or something like that, and throw that up here as well. But, yeah, so that is going on tomorrow. All right, let's get to the Reddit stuff. I have to jet through this. I work at UPS. A lot of you guys don't know that. I'm a supervisor at UPS, and it's getting Christmas season, and UPS is crazy busy. I start work at midnight tonight, and it's already 6 o'clock, and I got to get to sleep. So, starting where we're at right here, posted by Dumbledore. Can anyone please tell me why she was fouled? It's a video of the arm wrestlers' names. I forget. Maybe I can read if the name pops up. But it's basically 2 ladies are at WAF, and they are in a ref's grip. And there's a Russian lady and a lady named Brigitta from Hungary, and Ekaterina Nikasheva from Russia. Anyway, the lady from Hungary, they close her hand, and you can't even see it in the video, but the referee has his hands on her hand. So he closes her hand, and they're in a ref's grip, and he can feel her climb up with her index finger. She goes high wrist in the ref's grip, and so he fouls her out, and she loses the world championships on moving in a ref's grip. Like, you cannot move in a ref's grip. That's not complicated. There's no weird ways around that. When you're in a ref's grip, you have to sit still. So, that's a lesson. I guess she'll have to learn it the hard way, but it's still a lesson, I feel for her. That sucks to lose a world championship, or to lose it that way. That sucks. But it is what it is, Gotta stay still. Stay still. But I was told, and I don't know, let me validate this, but I'm pretty sure if you have to stay still anywhere from your elbow to the tip of your finger, that you can move anything from your elbow to your shoulder and body, that you can move around in a ref grip. I need to look that up, but if that's true, I know Travis Bajent's hit has a lot to do with that, where he'll start throwing his body, but his actual, anywhere from the tip of his elbow to his fingertips won't move until they say go, but his body will already be flying to the side, and he'll have everything locked in, his pronation, everything locked in. So by the time they say go, then his whole body weight and everything immediately kicks onto his pronation. I think that was a big key to his hit, but I'm not 100% sure if that's just if that's in a ref's grip or in just a regular grip. Anyway, moving forward, posted by Minhale. What does being a professional arm wrestler mean? I've heard the term thrown around quite a bit, but I'm not sure exactly what being a pro arm wrestler means. Okay, so the definition, right, of professional is someone that gets paid to do their thing. Now, actually, I should probably have looked up the exact definition, but it's something along those lines, right? You earn a living doing whatever you're doing. You get paid for it. Now, I don't know if that means that has to be your only source of income or if that just is a source of income, right? But so if it's your only source of income, there is like 4 professional arm wrestlers on the planet, if you want to look at the definition that way, including everybody. Like, there's not many, even the Europeans and stuff. A lot of them have other jobs and stuff too, but like personal training in a gym or something simple. So they do make a lot of money off arm wrestling, but a lot of them still have other jobs. And then in America, not even like the closest we had was Travis Bajent being a professional arm wrestler, but he's That's if you even want to call it that, because he's still flying around and putting on events. He's more promoter at this point, He's still flying around putting on events and, doing promotional things for Cooper Tires and stuff like that, right? So, but I guess it's all based off arm wrestling, so if you want to call it that. And then even Ryan Bowen, yeah, he's arm wrestling, but his money is coming in from social media stuff, right? From social media videos and stuff. So he's professional, like, social media presence, but getting paid as an arm wrestler, I would say that means that you're either getting the money from winnings or from sponsors to compete and win tournaments, right? So if you want to look at it that way, then yeah, there's like no professionals. There's hardly any in the world. Like, yeah. But most people, when they say professional arm wrestler, mean, are you pulling the open class? So there's amateur and then there's pro, right? That's the way the arm wrestlers use the definition of pro, is just if you're pulling the open class consistently and you're not pulling amateur anymore. And in that definition, there's many. People also call amateur tournaments are tournaments where there's no money, and professional tournaments are tournaments where there is money, right? So the WAF, a lot of people call it the world's biggest amateur tournament because there's no money involved. You just get a medal and you represent your country, right? Which is still awesome. But yeah, so I don't know, it depends on the person, I guess. What does professional arm wrestler mean? I usually go by the, if you pull open, then you're a pro arm wrestler, like, consistently. Yeah, I guess you can say that. That's just how I do it. I haven't put too much thought into it, though. But yeah, to each his own on what you call a professional arm wrestler. Moving forward, posted by Valeriolic. Would you see an anime about arm wrestling, no matter if you are bald and old? Change my mind. And then he posted a video link to an anime that was about, it's about like all things physical, like sports and stuff. And one of the episodes was about arm wrestling. Some of you guys know I used to be a professional video game player. I did that for like 6 years. So I'm a big nerd. I have like a nerd background, right? But before that, I played college basketball. So I have an athletic background and then a nerd background. And now I'm back into arm wrestling, which is, I guess, a weird sport. Anyway, so I watch anime. And this episode looks awesome. When I watched it, it was really cool how they did the arm wrestling, and they explained top roll and hook and all this stuff like that. So it's really cool to see an anime finally try to get into arm wrestling a little bit. I was always wished that they made a full-on arm wrestling anime. I would watch it. So, moving forward, watch that clip, by the way, guys, with that anime. It's pretty cool. It's really short. Posted by GramBro93. Exercise for my shoulders. Whenever I'm arm wrestling, the muscle that gets tired the most is my shoulder. I'm able to keep my opponent just off center, and I wait for them to get tired and then make my move. But my shoulder is always in pain and fatigued. What would be the best exercise to get my shoulders stronger? So your goal is to get your shoulders stronger, right? So I'm assuming if as far as arm wrestling goes, you're talking about like internal rotation, and then so in turn, I would recommend working your external rotation, so the opposite of arm wrestling motion, going the opposite way, right? Do the work that to build balance in your shoulders. A lot of times if your like rear delts are too underdeveloped and you're doing internal rotation too hard, you get a lot of pain in the back of your shoulders from trying to balance. It's just there's not a balance in your shoulders, right? So you're too overdeveloped, and so it'll start aching and it'll start yanking on your shoulders in weird ways. Your muscles will. So I would say build some balance in your shoulders. One, that's for sure. And then if you want to start, there's general shoulder exercises, mass and stuff like that. Putting on mass doesn't hurt, right? I mean, unless you're trying to worry about weight classes. But assuming I'm a super heavyweight, so I never worry about weight classes. So mass doesn't hurt you, right? Putting on general muscle in your shoulders and stuff like that isn't going to, as long as you're still flexible and you can still move your elbow around, then putting on mass isn't going to hurt you, and it'll help add balance in your shoulder. Arm wrestling's a very shoulder heavy exercise, right? There's so much rotation going through your rotator cuff and stuff like that, encasing your shoulder in muscle is not a bad idea. Having big shoulders is great for arm wrestling as far as just stabilizing everything like that, right? So, I'm definitely just focus on your shoulder. I don't know, you can just YouTube shoulder exercises, right? There's like military press, overhead pressing, there's like lateral raises, front delt raises, rear delt raises, there's stuff like that. So just look all those up. There's also machines that you could use at the gym to target your shoulders. As far as arm wrestling, you're going to get a lot of shoulder work from internal rotation, just from side pressure, basically. Side pressure, focus on that, and then your external rotation, man. But then you want to start looking into how many reps, how many sets, how heavy you're going. On what days are you doing it right after arm wrestling practice? Are you doing it later in the week? Those are the things you want to start looking at. And honestly, to each his own on that, and depending on how hard you want to kill it, But generally, people say heavier weight, lower reps, build strength. So go with that, man. Unless you're doing rehab, then you would do higher higher reps, lower weight. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. Moving forward, posted by Say It's Over. Any other incel arm wrestlers are there? I find it to be good cope from the pain, to be honest. I don't know what this is. I clicked on it a little while ago, and I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm old. I don't know. Someone explained to me what incel arm wrestler, what that is. I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm just old. Someone said, I know about these incel things on other subreddits. I don't know what that is. So someone explain it to my old ass. Moving forward, posted by myself. It's a video of our last Sunday practice, created by ET. Just ET's getting better at making these videos, these practice videos. He brings his GoPro to practice, but his edits are getting a lot better too. So if you guys get a chance, subscribe to my boy ET. He's on my team. He's filming all the practices and stuff like that, and he's very active in the sport. And he's one of those guys that is like super in love with it. Like, I guarantee he's going to listen to this podcast, and he watches every video, and he, is working out every day, rubber bands, and he practices twice a week. He's one of the people that's in love with the sport. So I always have mad respect, and I can always identify with people that have a lot of love for arm wrestling. Like, no matter what, even if I don't get along with somebody, we can always find common ground, usually, in the fact that we both love arm wrestling, right? So ET is just one more example of that, for sure. Moving forward, posted by Abyssic Void, I think. This photo of Babayev and Kurdeka is epic. It's a picture of Rustam Babayev and Alex Kurdeka standing like face to face, and Rustam's way shorter than Alex. And it looks kind of funny because Rustam's somewhat shorter. I thought Rustam was going to destroy Alex. That was probably my biggest upset something I didn't see happening was Alex beating him. Like, good on him, man. To be able to top roll Rustam, who makes a living off stopping top rolls, that's a big one, man. So congratulations to Alex for sure. Moving forward, posted by Skyline090, setting up in the straps and instructional video. This is a video of James Reterides. I always mispronounce that last name too. James is the one that wrote the book. Oh man, I can't think of the name right now. There's an arm wrestling. Oh, I'm so mad at myself for not being able to think of the title of the book. I had it. I let someone borrow it, and they never gave it to me back. And then he doesn't have any hardcover copies anymore, I don't think. I think you can only get the book online now. But what was the name of the book? Anyway, search arm wrestling books, and James, he wrote one, and you get it online, and it has fantastic information, you guys. I think you might be able to download it off like Amazon or something like that. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, it's super instructional. It's based more towards newer guys, and no one even talks about this book anymore. I don't know, because I guess it's in the past, but it's only like, I don't know how many years old now. But it's fantastic. I don't know, 5, 6 years old, something like that. Get the book. If any of you new guys are listening, I highly, highly recommend it. It goes over all basics of arm wrestling and over basic lifts of arm wrestling. It explains it with pictures and everything. It talks about hooking and top rolling and then how to lift for certain things. Like, it's a fantastic book for you guys to pick up for all the new guys for sure. Newer to intermediate pullers. I was told he was going to do another book for more advanced stuff. But the first book is fantastic, guys. Definitely. James is a multiple time national champion. Dude is a legend in the sport and in grip. Nothing but great things to say about James. He's the one, for a lot of you guys that are new, that was in the Juji video, that would always be working with Juji and teaching him stuff. That's James. Okay, so moving forward, posted by Right Back at You. Anybody know of a list of pullers in the Zloty Tour? I don't have any time to see the whole event. I would like to see who comes from my country. No one commented. I didn't have a list either. I only saw that one list of the 95 kg guys, the 10 people, but I didn't see a huge list until I saw the final placings. So moving forward, posted by Carlos Danger 213, top 8 predictions. What do you guys think? Is it doable for Vitali? I think his chances are 0 out of 100. I would love to be surprised. Trubin out of Bresnan. I think Trubin will win. Bresnan is unbeatable versus hookers, but Trubin does not hook. Trubin can hook. Trubin can do anything. That's one of the amazing things about Trubin is that, like, he is so diverse, right? He can hook and top roll. His, like, and this is coming from someone that's a lot weaker than Trubin. But I'm saying, like, from what I see, compared to some of the guys who have these, like, A+ moves, right? So say my hook and my moves are like a C, right? A B or a C. Trubin's are all A's, right? But, you know, like, certain people have A+ in their strength. Like, so Rustam Babayev is an A+ in a hook, in a deep hook, right? Now he's a C maybe in a top roll or this and that, but he's really developed in certain move. I feel like Trubin is an A all around in every move, but not really an A+ compared to those guys in any move. You know what I mean? That's just what I think. But I have a video on my phone that I've never shared with anybody of me arm wrestling with Trubin, and it's a joke. It's the saddest video. It's the saddest video ever. I couldn't bring myself to share it. Anyway, Prudnik, Angerbayev. Everyone seems to think it's 50-50. I think 6-0 Prudnik. I think the score was 4-2 Prudnik. But Angerbayev is definitely in that conversation, right? It just kind of, Angerbayev is A+ in a posting top roll, but the Prudnik is like an A+ in hooking and top rolling for their weight is the problem, right? So compared to Levon, you know, who outweighs them a lot, they didn't get a chance to really convey that. But yeah, I mean, dude, that was a great match, especially the first match, and Angerbayev's in it. He's there, right? It's just then Prudnik switched up his style and countered Angerbayev's style really well because Prudnik has a lot of tools, a lot of options at a very, very high level. Then Babayev, Kurdecha. My logical mind says Babayev 6-0, but I think it's possible that Rustam loses. No, you weren't too far off on a lot of this stuff. I didn't agree with all of it, but yeah. Moving forward, posted by Luca9129, Levon Saganashvili, and Denis Saplenkov, and it's a picture of them gripping up. Denis looks small, or he looks human compared to Levon. Like, when you even looking at their hands, both of them have gigantic hands. It's funny because their hands look like normal when they're gripping up with each other. Next, posted by Valeriolic. After the fight with Levon and before the top 8 final, Kierd Regali Angerbayev gives an amazing motivational speech in his homeland. First off, it's just because it's an Asian guy, bro. That's kind of racist. I mean, a little bit. And it's a video of a guy telling people to never give up and keep trying and try your best. So I guess it's a little motivational. Don't be racist about it. Don't be ignorant. Moving forward, posted by Luca9129, Levon Saganashvili versus Denis Saplenkov, first meeting, Hulk versus Hulk. And it's a video of Denis Saplenkov and Levon gripping up and meeting and stuff like that. Obviously, Levon would destroy Denis right now because Denis is out of it. So they just keep bringing Denis in there. I get it. You know, he's one of the GOATs and definitely in the conversation of the best ever. But he's out of it right now. Moving forward, posted by Sir Funk Dad, trying to start arm wrestling club in Long Beach, California. I'm a huge fan of arm wrestling, and I really want to meet up with people and train every week. If you're interested, let me know. Maybe we can set up training somewhere. I commented a bunch with this guy, and we went back and forth. The thing I was trying to explain, I don't know if Sir Funk Dad is going to listen to this podcast, but if you do, So I live in Southern California as well. Long Beach is in Southern California. And he wants to start his own arm wrestling team. But he says he's been a fan of arm wrestling for a year. Well, one, I'm worried about safety. One, you need to get an arm wrestling table. Starting your own team is great. Because somebody in the team has to know what they're doing is the point. Right? Somebody there has to be a veteran. And has to be able to teach the other people what's going on. At least somewhat. Know how to teach people completely how to not break their arm. know the different styles of arm wrestling and training methods and things like that. And you have to be able to answer questions when the questions arise, right? So I am all about more teams and competition and sport of arm wrestling growing in California especially. But the reason I was kind of pressing him and telling him, hey, there's 2 teams in LA which are like 30 minutes away to go check those out is because, they have established professional arm wrestlers, running those teams and teaching people there. So that's a good place to start to learn how to arm wrestle yourself and how to run a team before you try to start your own team. But I get you not wanting to travel and wanting to make a team in your own city. But yeah, man, you gotta know what you're doing before you do that. So if I read it correctly, you said you've only been a fan of arm wrestling for a year, then you still have a lot to learn, man. So I would suggest going to one of those practices or come to my practice, and we could talk all day, and I'll teach you everything I know, and I'll help you get ready to run a team. But I just don't want to see anybody get hurt at your practice, and learn from all the lessons I've learned over the years, and I'll teach them all to you, so you don't have to learn it the hard way. Okay, moving forward. Posted by WAL Official. Does size matter? WAL Elite Devin Larrett, Monster Michael Todd, and RVJ break it down. I didn't watch this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Yeah, I didn't watch this video. As far as size of your hand, and they're probably talking about length of your arm, and they're probably talking about general body mass. Yes. My answer, my opinion, right? Like I said, I didn't watch their video, but in my opinion, you can work with whatever you have. First off, let me say that. You can work with a small hand, short arm. You can make it happen with any of it. And you can be world champion with any of it. So, disclaimer, say that for sure. But is there any advantage to having a small hand? Not that I've found out, right? I don't think it's a disadvantage. Like I said, you can still be world champion with it. But there's an advantage to having a bigger hand because you can get better coverage on the back of someone's hand. And you can control the back of their hand a little more. So a small hand, I've never found any kind of sneaky way where there's an advantage with a small hand. That's the only thing. But besides that, the arguments of what's better, a short arm or a long arm, or body type and stuff like that. I mean, there's arguments both ways. It's just I think generally always having a bigger hand is just it helps. But if you have a small hand, all you have to do is don't rely on your hand all the time, right? So don't do a style of arm wrestling with super hand dependent. So if you have a small hand, maybe trying to hook people outside of the straps is not your best bet, right? Trying to hold on to people. So maybe do a really offensive style of top rolling. Arsen Liliev, something like that. Someone that fires off and you make them hold on to you. And then if they don't want to hold on, then you go to the straps, and then your hand size doesn't matter in the straps, right? As long as you're smart about it and get your webbing up and everything like that, then your hand size doesn't matter. So, yeah, I mean, just when you have a small hand, you need to be really good in the straps and you need to be really fast, right? One of those two ways. If you're gonna try to be successful outside of the straps, then you better be really quick and really fast and powerful, just shooting to your spot before they can get out, mess with your hand, or be really prominent in the straps. I mean, just be efficient there. And then you can still be really, really successful, Just got to be comfortable in the straps. Stop trying to hold on to people if you have a little hand. That doesn't make any sense, right? You have a little hand. Your weakness is holding on to things because you don't have as good of coverage on things. So stop trying to hold on. All right. Moving forward. Posted by Snickat. So, arm length, does it really matter? When do you have an advantage? ? My whole arm from finger to elbow end is 18.5 inches. And then there's a picture where he measured his arm. Like I just said, arm length, dude, if you have a long arm, then yeah, there's ways to use it for sure, right? I have a really long arm. But there's also disadvantages if you go to certain spots. So I don't know if 18.5 inches is long or not. I've never measured mine. I have no idea. But you have to work with whatever length you have, right? So a shorter arm is closer to your core, and you should be able to apply more inside pressure with a shorter arm, and you can go further back on the table and separate people a little better when you have a shorter arm, right? And stay tighter. Right? When you have a taller arm, you can go to places that shorter arm guys can't, and you have more options. I can chase someone across the entire table. So with my elbow on my elbow pad, I can grab your side of the table. Literally, I can put my hands over the end of the table. Okay, so that means I can stay comfortable. If we sink a hook and you start trying to pin me and you pull all the way back, a lot of times I can stay with you all the way to the back of your elbow pad and still be in a good spot because my arms are so long that I'm still like pretty tight. I don't run out of elbow pad, right? But when I start, my elbow has to start at the back of the pad. I have to drop my angle a little bit. Like there's some downside to having really long arms, right? If you don't know how to work with it. So it's it goes back and forth. You guys just have to know how to use the arms that you have. I don't always say that there's a big advantage to having a long arm. A lot of people say there's an advantage to having long arms. I don't know. John Brzezinski didn't have super long arms, and he was really successful. All right, moving forward, posted by Luca9129, IFA World Championship 2019 review. It's a YouTube video of IFA review from ArmBets TV. I didn't watch it. To be honest, guys, I didn't watch IFA. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like I said, I work at UPS, and this is crazy busy week, and the last couple weeks. And I knew I was going to watch Zloty and Top 8, and I'd paid for it and everything. And I didn't get a chance. I didn't watch all of WAF like I wanted to either. I watched what I could. I more watched the highlights, and then over the course of the next few months or weeks or whatever, I'll maybe watch the people make those videos where they break down each class. I'll probably watch those just to see who was there. But no, I didn't watch that, man. So I'm sorry, I cannot comment on the way IFA went. I know Herman got first right-handed and second left-handed, and then pulled Zloty right after that, and didn't have the best event because he was beat up, I'm sure. All right, moving forward, posted by Dominic Poker. It was the 3 Zloty streams. They had 3 different tables. So the open Zloty Tour is a tournament, right? And then they have the finals, and then they have the open bracket where the people that win first place in all their brackets have like a little mini tournament, just all the winners, right? And some extra people. Well, the first part, the elimination part of the tournament, that's all free. I don't think you have to buy it. All you have to do is go to ArmBets TV, and then you can watch the live event. So they had 3 separate tables, and so they had 3 separate YouTube streams going on for each table. So I was watching that. I had I had 2 of the tables up on my iPad, basically, and I had 1 on my phone. So I could watch all 3 tables at once. So it was kind of cool. And it worked out really well. It wasn't laggy. There's no latency, really. It was fresh. So for me, in my experience this year, the ArmBets stream worked really well for me. There's no craziness. I didn't have to get pissed off, and they didn't shut my thing down. It worked out really well. So thank you, ArmBets TV, for making sure that went off without a hitch. So the next thing, posted by Luca9129, the best fights of Zloty Tour 2019 left-handed. There's a bunch of cool fights in there, you guys. Matches. The guy from, I can't think of his name right now, the guy from Sweden who's like super tall, that kid's a beast. He was like my height or so. He's like 6'8", somewhere around there. And he uses his height really well when he arm wrestles. And he was getting outside people's hands and stuff like that. So good job, dude. You look like a monster. Hopefully one day I'm able to arm wrestle you and beat you. Moving forward, posted by RA1S Al Ghul. Oh, Raz Al Ghul. Top 8 live updates. Anyone? Hi, can anyone post live updates for top 8 here? This kind of brings me to one point, guys, that's kind of like annoying to me, right? I mean, I get it. People have money issues. I totally get it. I work, I'm not rich at all. I work a lot. But, like, our sport, we're trying to get it to grow. And even if me sending money into ArmBets is going into Mazarenko's pocket, at least somewhat that'll help him throw another event, or maybe somewhat, push him towards having bigger prize money, or help the sport somewhat. Buying things and investing some of our money in ordering like these streams. I'm not talking about specifically about this person asked for updates, but I'm saying a lot of people are trying to get free streams and not actually order it and wait till it's all done. I don't know. I never hesitate to generally try to spend some money on arm wrestling. I mean, I put so much time into it, as do we all, that investing some time or some money into the stuff we put our time into, I don't know, it seems like a no-brainer to me. right? I guess everybody else has their own situation going on. It's just, yeah, when people are hitting me up like, hey, do you have any, like, hookup on the live stream where I can watch it? I'm like, dude, just order it, man. Like, that money is just helping out the sport. That's just how I see it. But, yeah, guys, come on, man. You gotta help out. Throw a little money in there. It's only like $30. Moving forward, posted by NNQ2603. Latvian interview, Ryan Bowen after left hand in Zloty Tour 2019. And it's a YouTube video of Giannis Amalins interviewing Ryan Bowen. And he's basically saying about how his left arm is not his dominant arm. He just did it so he could get a feel for the tournament. And he's saying he did it just so he can get a feel for the tournament. And so... Sorry, guys, I had interrupted. I got a phone call. It interrupted the recording. But basically, Ryan says that he wanted to feel out the referees and the whole cadence and everything like that. And he said everybody felt very human, and that the next day in right hand, he doesn't see why he can't get first place, and he feels like he's totally in it. That's basically what the interview says. Moving forward, posted by Mega Arms, learning to arm wrestle plus shoulder workout. Oh, hey, the other guy who posted asking about shoulder workouts, maybe you can watch this video, and it shows you some shoulder workouts. Perfect. There we go. 2 birds, 1 stone. It's a YouTube video of 2 guys in a gym. One guy is teaching the other guy how to arm wrestle at the end of it a little bit, and they're doing a gym workout. So it's kind of like a highlight reel of gym lifts for arm wrestling and some table time, right? So watch that. The video's in good quality, good edits, and the lifts seem solid, right? They seem like good lifts that you should be trying out. Moving forward, posted by ZenVegan96, Top 8 Stage 3. Where can one watch this for free? See, dude, I don't know, man. That's annoying to me. Just to me, I get it. Moving forward, posted by Luca9129. Levon Saganashvili, 2019. Before his match versus Vitaly Letin, Levon speaks on English. And it's a video of Giannis Amalins interviewing Levon. And this blew my mind. Not that Levon speaks perfect English, but, like, the dude speaks English. Like, I didn't know he did at all. He was always so quiet and stuff. I've never heard him just full on talk, and it's not even that bad. Like, I could have a conversation with Levon in English. I did not know that. We gotta get this dude out here to America. We gotta get him on WAL. Now, he said he wasn't really interested in WAL. Actually, in this interview, he says, he's excited. He hopes he beats Vitaly. He feels really strong. He actually gives out some of his best numbers in his lifts, and then he talks about if he would ever want to go to WAL and arm wrestle. He said that he's not interested. He likes the European rule set. He's not really interested in WAL rules. But also, he said he's interested in arm wrestling Michael Todd, Dave Chafee, and Devin Larratt. Awesome. I would be interested in watching those. I don't know if Devin could beat Levon right now. The other 2 guys, I feel like, who knows? People have been talking about this a lot, actually. Michael Todd, I think, my personal opinion, I think Michael Todd can beat Levon. I don't think Michael Todd's like a hands-down huge favorite, but in my opinion, I think he could beat him, right? I would be surprised if Levon beat Michael Todd. Michael Todd was able to beat Denis Saplenkov. He has a lot of wins on Denis Saplenkov. Right? I think Denis won the super match, right? I can't remember. But either way, it doesn't matter. I know that Michael Todd was strong enough. His King's move years ago was strong enough to hold Denis Saplenkov, right? So to say that Levon is stronger than Denis Saplenkov at his peak, I don't know. That's debatable, right? I think Denis still has the world straight curl record and stuff like that, right? So that's really debatable. And then to assume that Michael Todd isn't stronger than he was when he is. His King's move, the angle is way tighter now. His wrist, the way he used to beat Michael Todd is, to crack his wrist is way stronger now. So, like, to assume that Levon is that much stronger than Denis Saplenkov and Michael Todd has either stayed the same or gotten weaker somehow is just kind of silly, right? And then if Levon can't really crack Michael Todd's wrist and apply enough side pressure to make Michael Todd think he's going to break his arm, then there's just no way. I just don't see it happening, right? So I'd be interested to watch it. I think Michael Todd's the favorite. I think Levon is right-handed in the world, number 2, in my eyes, right? Now, the Dave Chafee one, I would give it to Levon. He'd be my favorite in that match, but it's not a landslide victory Like, who knows, man? Dave is so strong, you know. But Levon does seem to have some tools. He does have like a high posting top roll and a deep hook. And Dave generally seems to stick with more of one move, but it's crazy strong. I mean, Dave was strong enough to beat Dennis Splikov, right? So I'd be interested to see that match for sure, just to see who's stronger. And I think you would know right away the outcome of that match. But yeah, definitely interested to see that. And then I think, and I've been telling everybody, I would love to still see Gennady Kvikvinia, which was Levon's old teammate, pull him. Now, I know Levon is a lot bigger now than he was when him and Gennady were competing against each other. But Gennady would give Levon like matches, and Gennady beat Levon a bunch of times for the World Championships. So to assume that Levon, Gennady can't still do it. Gennady is, he's first off, he's one of my favorite arm wrestlers. You guys always hear me talk about Gennady Kvikvinia. He's amazing. So versatile. Not only does he have the different moves available, from a flop wrist press to a deep hook to an explosive top roll to a flash pin to slow endurance matches, Gennady has it all. But he also has the mindset to really utilize his tools. He doesn't just have the ability to do it; he uses them fluidly in the middle of a match. Fly into a hook, then to a flop wrist press, and then fly back out to a top roll. Like, he'll do that stuff in the middle of matches, and it's not, he doesn't have to sit and plan it all out for hours and stuff like that. He has a really good feel for arm wrestling. I mean, he's been arm wrestling a long time, so it makes sense. But I don't know, man. I just big fan of Gennady Kvikvinia. So yeah, I think he would have a chance with Levon. It all just depends on his strength level. I think he could be moderately weaker than Levon and still be able to beat Levon, because how well he knows Levon. He's been pulling for years, and how smart he is, right? So I would love to see Gennady. I don't count Gennady Kvikvinia out against anybody, right? At all. I think he can offer a match to anybody in the world. Moving forward, posted by NNQ2603, Zloty 2019, arm wrestling, 95 kg left, all preliminary matches, a bunch of left-handed matches. Petrenko was amazing. Petrenko is the guy that Andrei Pushkar used to train, but now the dude is jacked and huge and strong as shit. And he's built like crazy. Dude, it looks like a bodybuilder. But he ended up just like walking through that class. So good for you, man. I know Ryan says he sucks left-handed. I know Herman was beat up left-handed. So I think Ryan went 0-2. I think Herman went like 1-2. I think Alan McKeeve, I don't think he did that well either. And then Petrenko won the whole thing. But they were good matches. It just, the IFA thing, I think, really threw a wrench in a lot of people's plans. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to keep doing the, I don't think they're going to keep doing the IFA the same week, are they? I haven't looked into it yet, but it doesn't seem like it make a lot of sense. Okay, moving forward, posted by SpeedCuber98, top 8 finals review plus Zloty open category left hand. Yeah, so it goes over the super matches, where Tim Bresnan lost 6-0 to Dmitry Trubin. Has all the matches like that. And with the Levon and Vitaly super match, I was one of the people that thought Vitaly could do it, and I hoped he would do it. Now, I don't think I would ever have thought that Vitaly was the favorite, but I definitely, and I was right. I think he definitely was not out of the match. That was a good match. Anybody that says that Levon destroyed Vitaly, like stonewalled him, is crazy. If you didn't see that first match where it was completely stopped in the middle of the table and Levon really had to make some adjustments and he couldn't just surge through Vitaly, he was in that match. Vitaly is there. He is not far behind. And Levon did. He made some adjustments later on, and the wins got a little easier and easier. But it was there, and Vitaly is definitely every bit as strong as everybody thought. But Levon is also as strong as everybody thought. So good for that match and good for them. Moving forward. Oh, and Zloty, the open category left hand, Krasimir Kostadinov won that, which was really surprising. So good for Krasi. I know he's a right-hand dominant arm wrestler, and I think that was the first time he's ever won the open left hand. So good for him, man. That's awesome. Krasi's a beast. He beat Dmitry Siliev, who is from the Siberian kid, they called him. He's Vitaly Letin's training partner, and he's had his own PAL matches and stuff. Dimitri's been around for a little while, and he's a monster. Dude's a fucking beast. He had a super match with Tim Bresnan a while ago. Yeah, really, really strong dude. He ended up winning the whole thing right-handed in the open. and then Krasimir won it all left-handed. So, moving forward, posted by SpeedCuber98. Again, it's the links to the right-hand live streams. We're going to pass that up. Posted by Top Roll King. Arm wrestling practice with Brazilian champion in Orlando. It's from Artem Top Roll. It's a practice video of him. I don't know the guy's name he's practicing with, but Artem and him are on a table, and Artem's wearing a wife beater and has his head shaved now. Looks like Edward Norton from American History X. But it's just some table time and them joking around and stuff, and some matches. Artem hasn't been putting out that many videos in a while. Artem, if you listen to this, tell me why you haven't been putting videos up. Moving forward, posted by Bendo93, top 8 live stream link. Okay. So, somebody else was live streaming top 8. Probably didn't pay for it or paid for it and is streaming it free to everybody. The next one was somebody asking about updates for top 8 stage 3. Okay. So here we go. Here's one posted by Minhale. Am I the only one who cannot stand Devin's stage persona? I hope this is related to arm wrestling. I know the internet has a hard-on for Devin, but I really cannot stand his douchey stage persona. Outside, he's as cool and respectful as it gets, but on stage he becomes this massive, disparaging, and belligerent dick. The most egregious examples are his WL matches with Chafee and Matt Mask. Chafee has publicly called him out on it, and Mask calls him a cocksucker at the end of the match. Some will argue that this is Devin being a showman, but I think there seriously must be a line between entertainment and pure trash behavior. Well, to be honest, there has to be like a villain and a hero, right? And I think that most people, Devin, like you said, is a nice guy, and everybody else is too. There's not many people that are actual dicks, right? And so I think Devin knew that he wants to fill that like you said, some people talk about being a showman. It is that. I mean, he's trying to be the guy that you hate or something like that, so that way you cheer for the other guy, and then it gets you more involved because now there's a story. You want Devin to lose because he's talking shit, or if you're a Devin fan, then you want him to win. But he gets in there, and so he's trying to play that card as far as being an entertainer. But at the same time, he's trying to piss off his opponent. He's talking shit to them so that way they'll mess up and they'll make a mistake, right? He got Chafee so pissed off that Chafee would do anything to beat him, including beating his arm against the King's move until he got so tired that he couldn't do anything with Devin. So that worked, right? Talk shit until Dave does some stupid stuff. So there's two reasons kind of why Devin's, doing all that. Yeah, outside of that, Devin's like the nicest dude in the world, but I mean, I can think of solid reasons why he would want to do that. He's all about the mind games. He's all about making you try to hold on to him and making you try to get into these long matches so he can get an advantage. The more he pisses you off, the more pride you have going into the match, the more you try to hold on and apply all your strength so hopefully he can tire you out, right? If you were smart, and you didn't get emotionally attached to the match, then the moment you're in like some kind of angle where you can't get out of it and you can't pin him through it, then you would just lift your elbow and foul. Like, it's common sense, right? Why sit there and burn yourself out? Get a restart somehow, and then try to not make that same mistake or switch up your angles. But but most people just get so mad and wanting to beat Devin that they just keep hammering away against that King's move, and there's just no way that pans out for anybody, So, no, it's not that I can't stand it. I just understand why he's doing it, and so I laugh along with it, just the bullshit coming out of his mouth. Posted by Say It's Over. Bowen needs to face Levon. Bowen is the only one with good enough vectors to beat him. Fairly sure he'd need to beat Vitali first, though. I know you're trolling. There's no way. If I can comment on the Australian Ryan Bowen and Lachlan Adair and Jordan Davis, and then there was also Rick Kamina and Ben Carroll all went. So there was 5 Aussie pullers that went in total that I know of. But a lot of people were watching because they wanted to see. Ryan Bowen's been posting all his training leading up to this, right? And all his gains he's made and all his vectors and his different angles and stuff. And in the matches I saw with Ryan's right hand, I haven't rewatched them. I watched it live. The first right-handed match, it looked like Ryan was trying to slip and get to the straps, but the guy got too much on Ryan's hand, and so by the time Ryan tried to slip, it was too late. He was already at the pin pad, and I think he slipped, and they gave the guy the win because he was slipping a losing position, or he got pinned. But either way, it looked like Ryan was trying to pull out, and he wasn't able to get out in time or in the right way, and so he lost. And the guy that pinned him ended up getting like second place. So the guy was crazy strong, but it looked like Ryan's arm opened up pretty easily. But I think he might have been trying to run on purpose, which is why his arm opened up. So from just perspective, just from someone watching, his arm seemed to fail. But that was also one of the top guys in the class, top Russian guy. I can't think of his name. And then the second match, Ryan won on elbow fouls. I believe it was elbow fouls. And I can't remember who with. And then, what was the third match? Who did he lose to? I can't remember. Who it was. They surged like twice. I can't remember if he got in the straps or not. And then Ryan got pinned. I think it might have been in the straps. Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I know he went 1 win and 2 losses. And the win was on fouls, which is still a win. But... So like those, when it comes to like people are kind of wondering like, what's going on with the training versus performance. It's like the all those things are true. They are. Ryan and Lachlan got way stronger in all their angles, practical application, speed, hand size, hand length, all that type of stuff plays such a big factor in an actual arm wrestling match, right? Just everything, and then you can just talk about CNS. You talk about your energy levels. We can talk about your adrenaline. We can talk all these things that affect how much strength you can apply in one moment, right? That aren't just how much weight you can lift in a gym or at your house. There's so many things that come together in that one moment. You know what I mean? What if Ryan had jet lag? Right, all those vectors didn't mean anything if you're still tired, or if you weren't hydrated properly. Like there's so many things that can affect that moment and really, really mess up your numbers or really mess up how strong you are. That it's so hard to tell, guys. Say there's 30 things that need to click the proper way in order for you to arm wrestle well in that moment. But so most people have 10 of them checked off, and the other 20 of them aren't. They are dehydrated, or they are, their CNS is taxed because they did heavy deadlifts too, recently, or, muscle fatigue, or, there could be a million things that's going on. So it's hard to tell, what was the reason that they weren't as successful as they would have liked to be. But yeah, I mean, especially when it came to Lachlan, I was really excited to watch Lachlan pull left-handed, and I think he went 2-2 left-handed, 2-1 right-handed, and he's strong enough. When Lachlan got into some of his angles, some of his more comfortable angles, he's there, right, power-wise. I couldn't tell if Ryan was there power-wise during the tournament because he didn't really get into his spot that I like to see him pull in, that he's used to pulling in. I don't feel like he got all the way engaged, but Lachlan got pretty close to his spot, especially in his last match right-handed. And he was there, man. He held off some surges from the guy who got second place, second or first place. And Lachlan's there strength-wise. He's not far off at all. So I think big things coming up for Lachlan Adair for sure. Just, putting all the other things together. The experience, the moves. At the end, the other guy got really tight, and Lachlan was kind of open, hooking with kind of an open arm. Little things like that, fine-tuning that. But I think that'll, big things coming out of Lachlan for sure. Yeah, kind of. And from my opinion, from my angle, it's a little to be determined with Ryan. Hopefully he can. Jordan Davis looked good. Jordan's my boy too, and Jordan looks strong to me. He did that pin on the Japanese guy. I think it was Jordan. Dude, that was not a pin. You got it. They gave you the pin, but man, I've watched that video a couple times now. That was far from a pin. But good for you, man. Good for you. I mean, that's just how tournaments go, guys. It's not perfect. You do what you can, and you see where the chips fall. Moving forward. Oh, by the way, Bowen needs to face Levant. No, he doesn't. No, not quite yet. Posted by Okay, let's see. One more people asked for updates of top 8. And then here's a video of Prunik and Angerbayev. Here's the top 8 results, which we already talked about. Zloty Tur results, which we talked about. Then a video posted by NNQ2603. Zloty 2019 after polling. Ryan Bowen, Herman Stevens, Jordan Sonev, and Lachlan Adair. Yeah, it's an after polling video. Can't read into it at all. There's Ryan beating Herman, but Herman just did 2 world championships. You can't read into any of that. So it's just like, it's cool watching them pull though, and Lachlan, pulled with Jordan, which is cool to see them grip up a little bit. And Jordan is a multiple world champion. Dude's a monster. So it's cool to watch them grip up, and Lachlan definitely could hang with him in an after polling session. But who knows, how everybody felt in that one. But it's cool to watch those guys grip up. Moving forward, posted by Luca9129. It's Levon and Vitali's super match. That's it. Okay. Sorry, guys, it took forever. I feel like we're coming up on an hour right now. What are we at? 55 minutes. So, appreciate you guys listening. Some people have been asking me to add video to this, guys. I'm not going to do it. It's audio only. Hopefully you guys are training, you're lifting weights, you're at work, you're doing something, you're on the treadmill right now, and you're listening to me talk. Because that was the whole plan from the get-go. Making just an audio-only podcast where I can just talk about arm wrestling for a little bit. Not too much pressure on me. I don't need to put the makeup on my face. I'm just kidding. I never wear makeup in public. But, I'm not going to have a video. What's the point? You guys want to sit here and stare at me while I read off a computer screen and talk about Reddit? I don't know. It just seems, and then there's more editing involved. Then I got to start worrying about how, what I'm wearing and what's in my bedroom and stuff that I'm recording in. I don't know. I don't want to do all that. It's not worth it. So, but I hope you guys are training hard. There's big tournaments coming up, especially in Southern California. LA Fit Expo's around the corner. Everybody's getting ready for Arnold's. Hope you guys are training hard. Stay focused. Don't get hurt. If you are hurt, train around it. Be smart about your guys' training, guys. A lot of people go to these practices and just want to smash each other. That helps, but not nearly as much as being smart about your training. Make sure you're being effective. The stronger guy holds the weaker guy. And then the weaker guy works in an offensive spot and doesn't get torn through and ripped open all the time, right? That doesn't need to happen all the time, right? So it's just get pride out of practice. Get pride out of practice. All right, guys. I hope you guys are feeling well. Holidays are coming up. Talk to you guys later. Go out there, be bold as hell, and apply yourselves. Talk to you later. Peace.